To really wrap our heads around the unimaginable scale of this world, we have to start by anchoring ourselves with a number that, frankly, feels way less like a boat's price tag and a lot more like a self-sustaining sovereign wealth fund. $500 million. That's the staggering cost of the newest breed of super yachts. I mean, we aren't just talking about a nice place for a weekend getaway anymore. These vessels are essentially their own sovereign territories. So what does $500 million actually buy you today? Well, absolute exclusivity for sure. But more importantly, it buys your way into a hidden economic world where the ultimate luxury isn't actually what people can see. It's exactly what they can't. Just think about the visible tip of this iceberg for a second. We're talking about yachts equipped with sprawling indoor pools, dedicated Pilates studios, and get this, actual fully functional private X-ray rooms right on board. At this elite level of wealth, a yacht completely stops being a boat. It transforms into a heavily fortified compound, engineered for total 100% self-sufficiency. This wild infrastructure allows an owner to completely bypass public ports or entirely avoid sitting in a medical waiting room on land if they choose to. It is all about total isolation and independence from the public sphere. Now, what's really fascinating is the massive shift in how elite luxury is defined today. Think about what used to be the absolute pinnacle of wealth, flashy bowling alleys, basic deck pools, trying to get all that social media clout. Actually, scratch that. All of that is seen as totally outdated now. Today, the baseline requirements are completely different. We're talking layered privacy and intense health infrastructure. Seriously, if a vessel doesn't offer biometric security access and whole ship air purifiers, the world's wealthiest buyers will literally just walk away. They want their assets to reflect a modern grandeur defined by sustainable architecture and, most importantly, tactical invisibility. And this intense desire for stealth, it's birthed what people are now calling the ghost fleet. The whole thing is driven by a mechanism known as an AIS Blackout. Basically, due to severe financial and security realities, plus the rise of global tracking apps, billionaires are intentionally turning off their automatic identification systems. By doing this, they effectively just vanish from public tracking. They're prioritizing this tactical invisibility over the old-school desire of simply being seen docked in Monaco. So, this tactical invisibility extends straight into the economics too. A full 25% of the market is operating entirely in the shadows. Much like the mad dash we saw to hide properties off public records after the LA mansion tax was introduced, a quarter of these massive super yacht deals now happen completely out of the public eye. This has created a vast, incredibly lucrative shadow market that perfectly mirrors the elite real estate world. We are talking about 9-figure transactions happening entirely in the dark. Because these buyers bypass public listing services altogether, a highly exclusive parallel economy is basically formed. Just like secretive whisper listings in elite Bel Air real estate, having the right connections and extreme discretion matters way more than a glossy public brochure. And to even get your foot in the door of this parallel economy, well, you can't just be rich. You need proven resources. You typically have to demonstrate a net worth of over $1 billion, or alternatively, prove you have the liquidity to close a 9-figure deal entirely in cash. Which brings us to this really illogical puzzle. If you think about this from a traditional investment standpoint, if you are selling an asset worth $500 million, why wouldn't you want maximum public exposure? Basic economics tells us that a wider buyer pool leads to the absolute highest return on your investment, right? So why on earth would a high net worth individual purposefully limit who can even bid on their property? Well, the reality is, diving into the shadow market isn't just about joining some exclusive VIP club. There is a very literal cost of admission. In the luxury world, skipping that public listing has a steep price tag, often resulting in a severe financial hit of up to 13% of the vessel's total value. When you're talking about a $500 million asset, 13% equates to tens of millions of dollars deliberately left on the table. It seems totally counterintuitive, doesn't it? Taking a massive loss of that magnitude just to keep a sale completely quiet. But here's the simple answer to our puzzle. Confidentiality is the ultimate currency. For the world's wealthiest individuals, keeping their location and their business entirely secret is a luxury that is absolutely worth paying for. Whether it's a global celebrity trying to avoid real security threats, or a high-profile executive dodging the intense glare of public scrutiny, eating that massive financial loss is just the cost of absolute privacy. When we step back from the crazy price tags and the private X-ray rooms, we realize the true currency of this elite world isn't actually money at all. It's total confidentiality. The architecture of these shadow market deals is just as intricate and heavily fortified as the architecture of the ships themselves. And, it leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to ponder today. If the absolute most valuable assets on Earth are routinely exchanging hands in the shadows, perfectly shielded from our view, what other massive shifts in wealth and power are happening right now, completely off the radar? It definitely makes you rethink the visible economy. If you want to keep exploring the hidden mechanics of our world with us, make sure to follow along for future explainers. We're going to keep questioning exactly what's operating beneath the surface. Thanks so much for joining me today.